The 42 Laws of Ma'at represent one of the earliest moral and spiritual codes known to humanity, originating from Ancient Kemet, Egypt, long before the advent of the Ten Commandments. These laws were not commandments issued by a god, but rather declarations of purity, truth, and self-accountability spoken by the soul before entering the afterlife. In the sacred weighing of the heart ceremony, the soul would recite each law as a statement of innocence before the divine tribunal led by Osiris, Thoth, and Ma'at. The heart, weighed against the feather of Ma'at, symbolized whether a person had lived in harmony with divine truth. If the heart was lighter or equal in weight, the soul was granted access to eternal life. If heavier due to wrongdoing, the soul would be devoured by the fearsome Ammit. These laws thus served as both spiritual practice and daily moral compass. Each law is a negative confession, beginning with "I have not," which places the burden of truth and responsibility on the individual. Unlike many moral codes that emphasize external enforcement or fear of punishment, the Ma'atian system is internal, centered on the idea that one's own actions, intentions, and energy shape their spiritual fate. The 42 declarations cover every facet of ethical living, including truthfulness, respect, stewardship of the earth, self-control, humility, and compassion. They explicitly forbid lying, stealing, murder, disrespect toward elders and gods, pollution of water, abuse of power, and unnecessary sorrow or anger. This holistic code harmonized the physical, spiritual, and cosmic order, aligning each person with the divine will of the universe through right conduct. Ma'at herself was not just a concept, but a divine feminine force representing cosmic balance, truth, and justice. To live by the laws of Ma'at meant to live in right relationship with oneself, with others, with nature, and with the divine. Unlike modern systems that often separate spiritual practice from ethics, ancient Kemetic thought viewed every action as sacred. To harm another being, to pollute a river, or to lie was not merely unethical, it was a disruption of the universal order. Therefore, these laws were not restrictive rules, but principles of divine alignment. Living in Ma'at meant walking with dignity, integrity, and inner peace, knowing that each step contributed to the balance of the whole. Spiritually, the 42 laws acted as daily affirmations for the soul. Initiates, priests, and spiritual seekers often internalize them through repetition, meditation, and righteous deeds. This formed a conscious alignment with truth and set a standard for how individuals related to their communities. Importantly, these laws weren't limited to the elite or religious class. They were meant for all people, guiding farmers, artisans, and rulers alike. They transcended class and power by insisting that every person, regardless of status, would one day face divine judgment based on their deeds alone. In this way, Ma'at served as the great equalizer, holding even pharaohs accountable to the same divine principles as the most common citizen. Today, the 42 Laws of Ma'at serve as a powerful ancestral blueprint for spiritual living, especially for those reclaiming African wisdom traditions. They offer a path back to self-discipline, divine accountability, and harmony in a chaotic world. For the modern spiritual seeker, especially those walking in the identity of the chosen, the laws of Ma'at act as a reminder that spiritual elevation requires integrity, humility, and right action. These laws are not outdated relics, but living affirmations of divine order. Reintegrating them into daily life can help restore balance not only within the self, but within families, communities, and ultimately, the planet itself. TNT Initiative, our race's universal hope.